Mr. Price is a fashion brand focusing on clothing, footwear, accessories, and cosmetics. Their focus is to provide products that are on trend. A fashion trend is initially created by a fashion house, fashion designer, or influencer. This trend is then followed by the masses, and clothing stores such as Mr. Price need to follow these trends closely to satisfy their customers' desires. This trendy clothing needs to be produced as quickly as possible so the retailer can keep up with these trends. This is called fast fashion. Fast fashion is defined as cheap, trendy clothing, ultimately a trend. Fast fashion involves rapid design, production, and distribution of clothing products. The idea of fast fashion is to get the newest trends into the store as fast as possible to ensure customers can purchase these trends when they are at their most popular. Trends are constantly changing, which means that these trendy clothing items are disposed of after they are deemed untrendy. This generally is only after a few wears. The fashion industry is the second biggest polluter, right behind oil. Mr. Price, as a fast fashion brand, produces large amounts of fashion products at such a rapid rate, which results in extensive use of raw material. The fashion industry needs to keep up with trends, which puts a lot of pressure on the business and leads to environmental sustainability corners being cut. Waste. Fast fashion brands produce excessive amounts of waste. Low-cost brands like Mr. Price encourage customers to buy more frequently and impulsively. This disposable clothing generally doesn't last for more than a season, which means these clothings get thrown out and into landfills. The production of non-biodegradable and synthetic fashion items make this worse, as these items in landfills take centuries to decompose. For example, Mr. Price produces over 400 million items of clothing each year, and a large percentage of these items end up in landfills, contributing to the environmental pollution. The unsold goods are an expense to the business. We have to transport the unsold goods to landfills, which are in other countries and overseas. Microplastics. Textiles are one of the largest sources of microplastic, contributing to 34% of the world's microplastic pollution. Microplastics are small pieces of plastics, and microfiber is a small piece of microplastic that is released from synthetic clothing, which is made from either polyester or nylon. More than 50% of clothing is made from either polyester or nylon, so millions of these tiny microfibers fall off the clothes on a daily basis. These released microfibers cause severe damage to the environment. They end up in water, causing indigestion and harm to marine life. This results in an imbalance in the ecosystem and leads to impacting the entire food chain. Water wastage. There has been a rise in awareness on the extensive use of water of the fashion industry and in the cotton production supply chain. The Better Cotton Initiative, the BCI, is the largest cotton sustainability program in the world. The BCI encourages partners to buy into their approach of farming and producing cotton in a more sustainable and eco-friendly way. The BCI has set up audible requirements for their partners to meet within their supply chain. The waste solution. Clothes to good is a textile recycling operation which has dedicated themselves to closing the loop. Close to goods recycle clothing, shoes, bedding, curtains, fashion accessories, and other textile waste from multiple sources. This will also eliminate a large amount of transport costs that are being spent to send the untouched and unsold items to landfills, and this will also improve PR. By contributing to this operation, Mr. Price dedicates an image of care for the environment and promotes CSR. The water solution. In 2013, Mr. Price became a partner of BCI. However, they only support a small amount of local cotton farmers. They need to build on their cotton sustainability journey by supporting more cotton farmers and incorporating further sustainable cotton farming and production into their supply chain. Financial and popular fast fashion brands like Mr. Price need to take more responsibility in the amount of microplastics released into the environment. Solutions for this problem need to take place in the design and manufacturing stages through implementing and partaking in the following. Number 1, the use of materials that have been tested for the release of microplastics. Mr. Price can implement textile testing into their manufacturing processes to ensure that they only use materials with minimal synthetic microplastic release. Number 2, Mr. Price needs to ensure that they provide their customers with durable products that will not end up in landfills as quickly as they currently do. This will ensure there are less microplastics in landfills that cannot be decomposed. Number 3, Mr. Price needs to develop practices that allow them to achieve a circular system. This can be achieved by developing ways in which their products can be recycled. Using companies such as Close to Good would help them achieve a circular system.